When dealing with hotels, our contracts are confidential. One of the reasons why we're keys to our budget overall is because the details of our contracts are always confidential. How much we pay for this hotel is confidential. How much we paid for every other hotel is confidential. When I had to prepare the contracts, because this hotel wanted to see what our contracts with other hotels would look like, so they can see what our specialty clauses tend to be for our convention. I had to take copies of those contracts. I had to take a Sharpie to them, covering everything that referenced any amounts of money or hard numbers on a whole bunch of stuff. I had to run them back through the other two Hiltons saying, have I redacted enough information that they could actually look at the contracts now? And they had to prove it, and they had to go back. So if you ever see us kind of being up there saying, yeah, we've got money, it's about this much. How much budget does Relations have versus this have? The thing is, if we release so much information, you can go and say, okay, Kumoricon's amount of money Kumoricon has this much. They spent this much on this much on this much. Oh, their hotel cost is this. We are actually under a legal obligation to keep our hotel costs and a couple other details with our contract confidential. And that is, this has nothing to do with the Hilton. This is all hotels. And the kind of funny thing is, because these are the three Hiltons, they keep these details confidential from each other.
Really?
Yes.
I had no.
Well, even though they're all Hiltons, they still have the right to keep their business plans, and obviously we're a lot of money.
They're separately owned, but they franchise
they're all
with the
independently
Hilton.
owned.
Yeah.
No, two are independently owned. One's a direct Hilton.
One is it? Okay.
Which one?
Vancouver,
Vancouver.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, I forget which actually.
Because I've worked at the other two and I met the owner of one of them.
Where did the other two actually located at? The last 2 years.
The Vancouver Hilton is right across from Oyster Short Park up in Vancouver. And the Doubletree is right across the street from Lloyd Center on the east side, right next to the Lloyd Center Max stop.
Okay, that's right about those. Okay.
Oh, and a couple of things. Actually, look at my notes now. Going back to the convention center. If we did decide to switch and become more of an industry con, Kumoricon became an industry con during the industry growth cycle. The industry is no longer in the growth cycle. Like 3 companies went under last year. Within the anime and manga business. We lost Central Park Media. We kind of lost ADB. They did rapid restructuring and are now something like they kept the size that they were, but they still technically sort of exist. And one of the smaller anime license companies also went under about 4 weeks ago. So, when things are in a growth cycle, that's when there's lots of money for promotion, stuff like that. We decided to say maybe we love industry, we're industry con. The industry we go, that's nice, you're cute. You want what? No, really. And the other thing about being a larger convention, that the convention center trying to start hitting, Sakura type numbers of 7,000, 8,000, is that honestly we have enough trouble getting enough staff for this convention, especially the upper level staff. I mean, if this convention could run on folding pieces of paper and stuffing an envelope, we'd be fine. Sorts of jobs that involve tracking things and paying attention to things and thinking about things. You're always scrambling for these people, always pretty much. So that's, this is something we're going to be talking about a lot as a convention over the next couple of years. Do we want to have a hard permanent cap somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 people and go forward that way? Or do we want to go forward trying to become a convention center convention? These are two radically different things, and this is not something that can be a board decision. It's not something that can be, this is something that has to kind of come from a lot of different people. And it's a fairly big deal. And there's a lot of things we can do though mid-year. We already run about 10 mid-year events at this convention because we're insane. Other conventions don't do this. The dances, support to other conventions. We're definitely running a mini con in Eugene this year, the Eugene Asian Festival. We have a room there. We had a room there last year. We have a larger room this year. It's 3 times the size of last year's room.
I have never seen a convention that does so many mini events as what we do.
Yeah.
I've never.
As far as I can tell, no other convention does this, but that's one. 2 ways to kind of handle growth, handle doing more stuff, is to we'd hope this year to kind of spread out our duties by going 24 hours, trying to spread out when people were here throughout the day, take the stress off us. This didn't work, by the way.
So one radical thing you can do is split the con into 2 cons that happen every 6 months.
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
Quit being such a radical.
Just saying.
This requires
It's been done
executive
before.
groups, because there's no way the one executive group can handle 2 cons.
Well, technically we kind of do, because we do have mini events like Light and other outreach that we do.
Yeah,
So we
but-
kind of do, just nothing on the same scale as the actual con
But
itself.
that's smaller communities
That would be
within
basically
them.
2,000-3,000
Right.
person cons.
And that's not enough to do anything. We would get no guests, we'd get,
Yeah. I mean,
It's pretty much all of us singing karaoke.
yeah.
And
It's really big.
I know, it's
people with attend cons.
Yeah, that's, I would
I'm not saying we should do it.
I'm sorry.
We just have one of those.
I know, I know.
Why not?
Just add it to the list.
Keep proposing ideas that you don't support.
No, I'm not.
I don't like this guy, it's just him out here. What?
Do you
I
support?
have
Absolutely.
one question.
It's don't mind.
You said that we hit 45,000 people this year, roughly.
4,500.
100.
Okay,
And we
You can tell he's running for
hotel
publicity.
space this year, we kind of had a plan, and then things got changed like at the last minute based upon variables that hadn't been taken into consideration on lots of people's parts, the hotel included.
What was?
Can we fit in another 500 to 1,000 people next year?
That's something
With
we're
better
gonna be
planning.
having, starting in January, we're gonna be having meetings like every 2 months to talk to go over things. There are some quick fixes, that actually should ease up a lot of problems. One of the things is, that happened with, on Saturday mornings, is we opened registration at 6 a.m. All these people came through the line, all these people, and none of the rooms were open. No one could go into, so most of the convention space was blocked from them, so they had no place to go. This year, we either have to open registration later, or we have to, if we can't have programming that early in the morning, the rooms just have to be monitored and open. Like, I mean, if this room had been open, that would have helped a lot. We could tell people, come in here. Even if we're not doing the program, we could tell people, come in here and hang out.
We weren't allowed to hang out down in the lobby area because the con hadn't opened up yet and Hilton were kicking us out.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
No hotel likes us to be in their lobby.
Yeah, actually, that's public space, and this is true of some other hotels too. There's parts of the Vancouver Hilton where we're not supposed to be having things hang, that main kind of area. It had nothing to do with the convention being open or not open. We were supposed to be everyone was supposed to be over here. We were not supposed to be using that lobby as hangout space whatsoever. We tried to press out the forums, we tried to do that. The thing is, we just had so many people here, the hotel thought we had to go. There's too many people here, we need to kind of, we need to be lenient on this. We weren't ever supposed to be there because the thing is the flow patterns down there are meant to be decorative, not functional. So those two strips on either side, the concierge, is way in the back, and the valet parking is all up there. The concierge and the luggage carts and the lines have to be constantly going up. There's 2 main walkways that need to be kept absolutely clear at all times, and keeping those clear this year was very difficult. It just has to do with their logistics and how they can check in people and how they can be taking valet parking, and where they need to be running the carts through, and the luggage carts through. Obviously, we knew coming in. And yeah, it's something we're going to have to look at a lot for next year. We basically, for this hotel, we need a lot more staff kind of telling people where to go the other places, because we need also traffic flow patterns, run the escalators and stuff like that, and be controlled. And that should have been our staff, that should not have been the hotel staff.